ever wonder about that huge pink triangle, which can be seen from places as far away as the Oakland Hills during Pride weekend? Raymond Donald Hong braves the typical June San Francisco weather to give us his report of this Pride tradition. Raymond, how is Twin Peaks?
One word, guys, freezing. It's a typical summer day at Twin Peaks with 40-mile-per-hour gusts of wind and fog coming in from the Pacific Ocean. Every year, underdressed folks like me venture up to the tallest hill in San Francisco to witness the christening of the Pink Triangle. Every year, volunteers gather on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. to set up this international symbol of gay pride and solidarity, which covers an acre of land on the side of Twin Peaks. The Pink Triangle is a reminder of the homophobia and persecution of gay people during Nazi Germany.
Senator Mark Glenna, we're thrilled to have every year since the beginning of our ceremonies. He never tires of coming, and we're glad about that. And he always gives a great historical perspective on the Pink Triangle.
You know, through these many, many years now, over a decade, we come and we very ritualistically tell the retelling of the story of what became of homosexuals under the Nazi regime, and they're being forced to self-identify by wearing this pink triangle as a symbol of shame. During the Nazi reign over Europe, they didn't break any laws. They broke no laws. The Third Reich changed the laws to allow them to be able to do what they did.
To tell the history of the Pink Triangle, we are thrilled to have Andy Bell, the lead singer of Erasure. He's one of the most acclaimed and beloved singers in Britain and US pop.
However, in the 1930s and 40s, there was nothing to celebrate concerning the Pink Triangle. Gays were forced to wear the Pink Triangle on their pockets in the concentration camps to identify them as homosexual, to set them apart from other prisoners. At the end of the war, when the concentration camps were finally liberated, virtually all of the prisoners were released, except those who wore the Pink Triangle. Many of those with a pink triangle on their pocket were put back imprisoned, and the nightmare continued. In the same kind of senseless, irrational hatred that still haunts gays, Jews, blacks and other minorities today. The Taliban in Afghanistan required non-Muslims to wear identifying badges on their clothing, just as the Nazis required their undesirables to wear identifying logos so long ago. History repeats itself.
That hatred towards the LGBT community reared its ugly head last year when homophobic arsonists burned 1/3 of the triangle.
We're not really sure. I got a phone call at 7 in the morning from Supervisor Bevan Duffy saying, "Patrick, the Pink Triangle's been set on fire." I thought, well, how can that be? This is San Francisco. If the Pink Triangle is set on fire in San Francisco, who knows what could happen in other parts of the country. So that was really a surprise. The police investigated. They say that a flare was thrown onto it. That's what the arson was started with. So they burned the center of the triangle. They burned a large hole in it. And then they shredded a lot of it. And they took all of this informational signs that we have that give the history of the Pink Triangle and drove them into the Pink Triangle like they were spears. And then when the fire department arrived, they jumped over the retaining wall and their heavy boots shredded the Pink Triangle even further. It was a deliberate attempt to both set it on fire and tear it off the mountain.
To those people who tried to burn this triangle, I am the only flaming thing around here. So don't mess around.
To avoid any more acts of vandalism, a security guard was stationed overnight.
The Grand Ducal Court actually paid for the security guard. So there will be a security guard here this evening until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, long after daylight. Plus, a number of us will be here this evening because we're going to illuminate the Pink Triangle. We're going to have searchlights panning the sky over Twin Peaks, and we're going to have the entire triangle illuminated so you can see it from Pink Saturday down below.
We still have gay repression in Africa, parts of the Muslim world, in Russia, Eastern Europe, East Asia, and here in the US and in the UK. So that is why the Twin Peaks display is so important. We must remind people of the hatred and prejudice of the past to help educate others and prevent it from happening again. What happened in the Holocaust must not be forgiven and must not be repeated.
Every year, about 75 to 100 volunteers help set up the Pink Triangle. If you want to help out next year, you can contact them at thepinktriangle.org. At Twin Peaks, this is Raymond Donald Hong. Back to you guys.
Bundle up, Raymond.
And stay warm.